You know? That's the thing though, right? And a lot of people go around trying to change other people's mind, whether it's trading related or, you know, whatever opinion they have, they try and go and change another person's opinion, and then they get all frustrated and mad, right? But I believe like you said, why would you want to change anyone's mind?
Yeah, it's tough. Like I've heard this before, you know, people get really upset and say, why is there pain and suffering and sadness in the world? The only way that you can, that you know that there's bad times is if you can contrast it with something better, right? And so if I disagree on the value of something like the euro against the US dollar, I think it's a great thing that somebody else has the exact opposite opinion as me, because that's what makes the market, right? So yeah, I'm probably pretty close to like a free speech absolutist, and I know that's a big deal for a lot of people. Like they think that's really bad. Like you shouldn't. And if you've ever gone to like corners of the internet where it is as close to, I mean, it's about free, it's pretty much as close to free speech. You'll see, like, that's the thing about the internet that you know, our society has changed. And so if you think back to like Washington and Abraham Lincoln, like back in the day, it was all about your honor. It was all about your honor, like your word and your honor. That was a real big deal. What's happened now, like on the internet, is we've taken your identity away, so it's not you anymore. It's like you're like this ghost. You know what I mean? You're like this online identity, and so as an online identity, you can go out there on the internet and these free speech forums and just say whatever you want with no real consequence, because at the end of the day, you can say all these crazy things, and then you walk into the store and nobody knows that was you saying that, you know, and probably nobody in the store even goes on that online forum anyway, right? But like that, do you know what I mean? Like it's sort of, we've taken that away. In a way, it's great that we have the internet and we have all this exchange of ideas, even though it's being suppressed now, obviously, in a big way. But in a way, I love the free flow of information and the exchange of ideas. But taking a stand isn't like it used to be. It's because it's cheaper, right? It doesn't cost you so much to go out on a limb and make this claim, right? So if I go out there and I claim that, you know, redheads need to be all rounded up, because if it weren't for redheads, we wouldn't have poverty. You know, if I said something like that, okay. In the olden days, everyone would say, "Hey, Walter said that about redheads," and I'd have a bunch of redheads upset with me and maybe tailing me everywhere I went, right? But because online I could be anonymous and say that, no one really knows who I am or where I live, or you know what I mean? They just yell back at me on the internet. So it's kind of like it cheapens. It's hard to take a stand, really, because unless you do it in the light and you say, here, this is me, this is where I live, this is what I'm about, and this is what I believe. Like, you know, like Jordan Peterson, for example. I don't know much about Jordan Peterson, but I know he's controversial, right? And probably Noam Chomsky would be similar. They're both kind of outspoken, controversial figures, right? So that, you know, but what happens on the internet for the average person is we're just anonymous. Nobody knows who we are. And so we can say all